Ah. Well, all right. Ah. Let's see if we move this up a bit. That's a little better here. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Okay, that's a little better, I think. I don't want to get that thing too damn close. Oh, lovely day. The sun comes out and once again misquotes the shit out of someone. That's right. Everybody's gone mad on Twitter. I don't know if how many people have caught this, but you had your tonsils removed. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the weird thing. I still have all my original equipment. I've never had my tonsils removed. I've never had my appendix out. The only thing I've ever had yanked out, I think, was a couple of wisdom teeth, and that wasn't even at the same time. Okay. What happened was this. Everybody hear me okay? Okay, good. I'm assuming so. Frazer Hines was basically completely misquoted today in The Sun. Yeah, I figured that. You guys are about 5 hours ahead of me in the UK, and I think depending on where you are in Australia, for you folks there, you could be 15 to like 19 hours ahead, something like that. Well, 15 to 17, 18, something like that. Because when I was lining up the Mark Strickson thing, he was like 17 hours ahead of me at the time because he was in the tip of New Zealand, and it's like, damn. So that was a hard one to time out, so that we could get together at a decent time here and a decent time for Patrick, Mark Strickson. But back off that. Okay, now let's read while everybody's getting in here. Let's just see, you folks who are here. The Sun put out an article today saying, quote, now this was the headline. Doctor Who star Frazer Hines slams show's bosses for PC storylines on historical events. And even Frazier, if you go look at his Twitter today, is like, what? What are you talking about? That's not what he said. Because, all right, for you folks who are already here, this is actually what Frazier said. All right. So come on in. Now have a seat. Yeah, and that's what I'm dying laughing is you've got all these guys going, there's this great PC SJW conspiracy going on. And I'm like, Doctor Who has been PC since almost like the very beginning. Like, folks, who do you think the Daleks represent? The frickin' Nazis. It's like they were talking about, basically, in a roundabout way, the Nazis, the eugenics program, and all that crap. Then you had Planet of the Giants, which dealt with, ecological issues, or should I say environmental issues, more like it. Like I said, I can go all the way back to Hartnell, and the show's always been PC. It's like, come on. It's like, look at the Green Death. As I told Katie Manning the other day on Twitter, it's like, it's like, she goes, it was way ahead of its time. I'm like, you're not kidding. It addressed environmental issues. It addressed big business and big corporations, and Boss had Skynet beat by over a decade. Think of that. Yeah, it is. It's tabloid news. It's just one Bat Boy article away from being the Weekly World News. Or one more story about Michael Jackson's secret love affair with space aliens would be the National Enquirer. It's right there on the same level. And yet you've got all these people out there having a cow over it, and it just amazes the living shit out of me because I keep telling people, it's like, you can't trust the Sun. The Mirror gets shit right on occasion, but the Sun, oh, hell no. Oh. But, okay, so this is what Frazier actually said, and I want to thank Mr. TARDIS, which I'm going to provide you a link to his video on this down in the description box, when this is done and it goes up as a video. This is what he put out. This is what Frazer said, quote, "I'm old-fashioned. I don't want to know about Rosa Parks. I don't want to know about whether we'd done this or we could have changed history and Kennedy might not have been shot. I like Bug-Eyed Monsters. Monster of the Week, I want. I loved it when it was episodic. Now it's all in one, beginning, middle, and an end. I liked it when it ended on a Saturday night and then Sunday in the park or on Monday in the school playground. You'd be like, what's going to happen? Doctor Who was caught there. Is the monster going to get him? Now it's all wrapped up too quick. Just call me old-fashioned." And the thing is, you've had a lot of the classic stars coming around saying, look, this is not my Doctor Who. And they're not slamming on Jodie Whittaker, but these guys who write these articles have to make a headline, and they're cashing in on the big algorithm hit on YouTube, which is let's bash Chibnall and Whittaker, because it sells papers, and it also gets those morons who, like Bird Roddick or whatever, that guy's name, whoever he called him, and, Tidy Bull Trek, whatever his name is, it gets them talking, and what's his name, named after a liquor that he ain't even old enough to drink, it going on, and you see, and what they'll do is they're going to take this article, they're going to run with it like mad, and boom, instant advertising. It's called clickbait advertising. And what a lot of people don't realize is, and I've been learning more and more when I've been playing, doing YouTube this whole time, is everybody seems to think that if they put a clickbait title up, they're going to get a whole lot of hits, and that's going to grow my circulation. It's going to knock my videos up. No, the only thing that's going to knock your videos up is if you pay YouTube. If you hit promote button, or your audience retention, which is your number of minutes watched per video, is now what determines whether your video is going to get bumped up in the algorithm or not. It's that simple. But like I said, a lot of people seem to think it has to do with views, subscribers. It's minutes they're looking for, because with those minutes, they can cram more advertisements in. Well, what's going on is, I don't even know who the hell that is, but they're misquoting all these classic stars. They did it to Annika Wills a little while back. And what happens is, they're just trying to say, look, when they were growing up, Doctor Who was literally, 25 minutes per episode, which all formed one big serial episode all together. You had 25-minute serials, which formed one big episode. And I'm sorry, Greg, I can't tell just based off your picture there. It's just things are scrolling by here pretty quick. But, thanks for coming around. So what's happening is they're taking all these classic stars and they're misquoting them to try to sell the fact that the latest edition of Doctor Who is total shit. And all they're saying is, look, when we were growing up, when we were in it, Doctor Who was 25 minutes per episode. It was a serial format. It was a whole different thing. But I don't want to sound mean and all that, because, that was great for the 60s, and the 70s, or pretty much the whole classic era. But you could tell towards the end, I think it was, we had a few 45-minuters here and there. I think it was in Baker or something like that. I'm going off the brain noggin here. But you could tell with the introduction of Ace, the fact they were going more into companions' backstories and all that, the show was already evolving towards what was going to happen in 2005. The problem is it didn't get the chance to get there. Because, yeah, all right, you're right. It was Colin Baker. Thank you. I was just going off the memory noggin here. And, especially with Ace, the way they were going more in her backstory than they did with other characters, that was going to become the new trend. Matter of fact, if the show had continued on, the next season would have been series, 27, I believe. Yeah, because it ran 26 years. With the Cartmel master plan, all that coming in, the new companion, I believe, would have been named Rain. She was going to be like a thief / cat burglar type deal. Ace was going to go to Gallifrey to become a time lady. And that's why the Doctor was putting her through all these little trials, things and all that. These little trials, tricks, and shit like that, because he was getting her ready to go face her own demon so she could become a time lady. because it was going to come up that he had finagled a deal with the Time Lords for her to be able to enter the Academy. And sadly, it didn't happen. Because if it had, heck, one of the concept TARDISes, you've probably seen it running around. They used it for the background in one of the documentaries. They built the 1/6 scale model of it. The TARDIS console was going to be really freaking cool. It was going to have that center shaft, and there was going to be nothing underneath it. It was going to be supported by the time rotor. I would have loved to have seen how the BBC rigged that sucker together so it didn't wobble out of place and fall all the time, but that didn't happen. That all got trashed because Michael Grade, had a boner against Doctor Who hardcore, amongst, a few others. Also, the fact that you had, some really dismal stories there for a while. But unfortunately, that's, past now. That's history. There's nothing we can do about it other than move on. But I really would love if he did. Matter of fact, there was a story in Big Finish where I think it was the Glorious Revolution, where a Time Lord visits older Jamie. He's obviously like middle-aged or a little bit further than that. He's already had a family, wife, and all that. And he has to access his memory to get to something to happen that's causing a paradox. And it's really cool because as he's telling the story, it's affecting the timeline that he's in. And that's why, he starts doing all this weird stuff. But, all right, spoiler alert. When you get to the end of the story, the Time Lord asks him, look, because you've done such a great service, I can let you keep your memories from here on because it won't affect anything. And Jamie refuses. He said, look, I've moved on. I've had a family. I have children now. There's a lot of traumatic things I don't really want to remember. And just sitting back and worrying about what I've lost would take away from what I've done since then. And I think that's what it was aiming at. So he chooses not to remember. There's also some stories with Zoe that take place as she's older that were really, really good. And she starts to remember little things here and there. And then, of course, it gets shot down and all that. But matter of fact, when Tegan was first reintroduced, I think it was in The Gathering, there was a series of adventures that were all tied together in Big Finish. It was like The Gathering, The Harvest, and The Reaping or something like that. And I think it was The Gathering where Tegan is brought back at her current age. The Fifth Doctor encounters her by accident. And yeah, Legend of the Cybermen was cool, but remember, I don't want to give away too much, but let's say that wasn't real Jamie. I don't want to give away too much on that one. But what happened was, oh, great, I lost my train of thought. Shit. Okay, that's right. When Tegan was reintroduced, yeah, it was. You're right. It was real Zoe in that one. And she had taken over a certain thing. And I don't want to give too, I want you folks to go out, especially if you are classic fans. The problem is I'm not too sure on the availability of the beginning part of the Big Finish range, because remember, there's a lot of them that aren't in print anymore. I'm not sure if they're all available for download off the top of my head or not, going all the way back to number 1, which was the Sirens of Time. Also, when the Fifth Doctor adventures started out in Big Finish, with him and the mainstream, the main line, adventures, he was just with Turlough for a while there, and there was a lot of good adventures of just him and Turlough. Then they brought in, it was Fifth Doctor and just Nyssa for a while, which I thought was really great because in the main series, we only got like one adventure between the time Tegan left. Matter of fact, yeah, she left at the end of Time Flight, and then she was back at an Arc of Infinity, if I remember right. And I just always wanted to, it was Arc of Infinity. And is it still available? Okay, because if you have a chance and you're really a big time fan, of the classic Doctors, this is your way of, you're sure you don't get to see anything, but it's all taking place in your head. What I love is I'm on an assembly line job 9 hours a day, And what's really cool is I get in there and, if there's a new adventure up, I plug in and I'm off on an adventure with a doctor while my hands are doing all the work. So chances are, if you have a car that broke down, I'm not saying anything other than that. I'm not sure on how they vet writers for Big Finish right now. I know they did take amateur scripts for a bit, but the screening process is just crazy. Yeah, I don't know why. Like I said, it's just the fact that Jodie Whittaker is the first female doctor. And okay, I named the first 2 season 12 directors in the last video. Give me about 10 seconds. I think I still have it up here on the page. Like I said, I wish I could remember off the top of my head, but I don't. Zoom backwards. All right, give me about 10 seconds here because this is going to take a little bit of time. All right, was it back before? All right, that's right. Yeah, Lucifer's coming back. Yay. Okay, episode 1 of series 12, as far as we know, is directed by Jamie Stone. I think he's block 1, so he might be episodes 1 and 2, and I think block 2 is Lee Haven Jones. So he'll be doing 3 and 4 if that holds up right. But the problem is, I think they're doing a lot of assumption. And, just because we've got 2 blocks on, remember, they filmed a lot of stuff in a very wacky order for Series 11 filming. So I've been coming up with my own version for Dr. Freedom and Eric. There's a few adventures I want to do that are going to be more like narration. I'm calling them short hauls. So not Lee David Jones. It's Lee Haven Jones. Haven, Lee Haven Jones. Not the actor. No, it's a different guy. Haven is in, it's a haven for illicit activities. Oh, no worries. I can understand because the way I pronounce it, the way you're hearing it, might have said, sounded like David. That's no biggie. So yeah, they've been doing, like I said, they did the same thing with Annika Wills a few weeks back, where they were saying she thinks the show sucks. No, she didn't. She just said it's not her Doctor Who anymore. That's why she quit watching it. It's not the style that she's used to or that she was in back in the 60s. And I'm just loving how they're misquoting all these classic companions and shit, Ugh. Okay, hang on. Okay, because I wasn't sure how they're still doing that with Big Finish right now, because I know they've got to be getting like 1 billion scripts per minute, because there's a lot of fans out there who want to, put their fan fiction up as an audio adventure. Like I said, I was very, very fortunate when I did Skydark that I was able to hire Sophie Aldred to come in to do the voice of Dr. Liberty, because when I wrote Dr. Liberty, who, I can't even remember her real name right now, or the character's real name, I mean. It'll hit me in about a half an hour when it's not important. I know it's Elizabeth. I think it's Elizabeth Catherine Stewart. Where did I get that from? When I wrote that character, I pictured that character as being portrayed by Sophie Aldred, as she is now, her age. So that's when that's why I was so glad I was able to get her to come in and do the character, even if it was just for that one segment. Because I kind of figured there was no way in hell I was able to be able to afford to keep her as a recurring. So Technobabble's not hard. A lot of stuff that, Technobabble, don't think about it too much. Just rattle it off and it sounds good. Like the thing that brought the Derbyshire, kind of into a bit of peril in this last adventure was a trillium buildup in the Klystron intercooler exchange, which led to an overheat in the secondary something relay. Like I said, it's not that hard. Just, especially what you do is, if you really want to get some good Technobabble, just watch a lot of David Tennant's. And just think of the words, make them apply. Like I want you to fire a macro phaser burst into this auxiliary. Oh God, now I can't remember because I did that line so long ago. It's like that was all the way back in Skydark. I did that one line in the engine room. I literally just made that up. But how many folks here have been listening to the Dr. Freedom and Eric audio adventures? Because if everybody will get their lines in, AJ's a member right there. He's got his in already. Yeah, that one I wanted to wrap up early this year. It's just coffee. Froze coffee. And that story is going to take another major twist coming up. I don't want to give away anything, no spoilers to you folks in the audience. Let's just say there's going to be definitely be a few oh shit moments coming up. The secret of the monks. So any questions, thoughts, ideas? Like sooner or later, I'd like to do just an adventure where we find out. I guess I've already pretty much got it written in note form about, how they found Eric and all that, and why Eric is the way he is. He's just basically a smart ass in a pot. But okay, I did not like Night of the Fendal. I'm sorry. I don't give a flying ready tat shit who you are, where you were born. You're not going to shake off the Fendal like a case of the frickin' crabs. I just could not believe that shit. Yeah, there's espresso in this too. It's Big B coffee. It's a mocha with sliced strawberries in it. Yes, go down to your Big B's and get a mocha with fresh strawberries added. Yeah, if only they gave me money for that shit. Yeah, Night of the Fendal, like I said, it started off good. Then the ending was like, oh, you've got to be freaking kidding me. It was kind of disappointing. It starts off good. It's very atmospheric. It's got you going, and then the ending's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I said the word. All right. So meanwhile, like I said, Frazer Hines got misquoted. Annika Wills, they did the same thing too a few weeks back. There's been a bit of an uproar. Frazer is not happy. He's been talking about it on Twitter. If you know who is Frazer, I believe it's @whofrazer on Twitter. Go look at his stuff. He was not happy about that shit at all. Yeah, Image of the Fendal was good. I'm talking about Night of the Fendal. It was a recent Torchwood adventure. I think it came out like a couple weeks ago, and it's Gwen Cooper in it. And it's at the same location. You say go listen to it for yourself, make your own judgment. But like I said, I'm talking about Night of the Fendal. Image of the Fendal was fucking phenomenal. With Tom Baker, Leela, Dr. Fendelman. He was a bit weird, wasn't he? I began to wonder if Fendelman liked to fondle men. I watched a little bit of it. I want to watch the rest of it because me and Trilby have had a lot of disagreements in the past, but ever since the Series 11 thing, we've been on the same side of we're on the same page pretty much, I think, at this point. That it's gotten fucking ridiculous. Some of the goddamn bullshit that's out there. It's the PC SJW conspiracy. Next thing you know, they're going to tell me that, oh, God, there's a whole story I want to do on that, and I don't want to waste it. I'm thinking about doing an audio series on that, but apparently Bradley Walsh was spotted back out on Barry Island again, doing some more filming. I haven't read about any more about that yet. I'm hoping they do a better job, with the Fendal in that series, because I didn't like the Torchwood one. Of course, Bully Man is out there making fun of Trek and bashing it because it's the only way he can make money because they won't let him work at the McDonald's because making a Big Mac is too complicated for him. I can eat him, but I can't make him. Of course, it never stops because that's what gets them hits. That's what gets attention. They've got, and sadly, like I said, I don't know what planet they're on because I went to Chicago TARDIS this past year. I didn't hear one negative word about Series 11. There were at least like somewhere between 20 to 30 Jodie cosplayers. A couple of them were male here and there. And, there was no hate. No hate at all. That's the thing. I don't know what people think. Maybe it's because it's easier to bash shit online when people can't get in your face and say, look, prove that shit to me. Like I said, you had L. Peter, what's his name, out there, couldn't even get the damn facts straight on ratings. Like he's suddenly an expert on it. Believe it or not, I found a letter. Like I said, I posted on my Instagram of a lady who sent a complaint in about Patrick Troughton. Who, she couldn't stand the fact that William Hartnell had been replaced and blah, blah, blah. And then thousands of children were going to be tuning out because of Patrick Troughton. Sound familiar? Where have we heard that shit before? Hang on, let's see if I can find it real quick. I'll read it to you. If I can get my Instagram to come up. Okay, y'all sit down. Now, this was a letter. I can't remember it. I think this was the Radio Times. Quote, "What have you done to BBC One's Doctor Who? Of all the stupid nonsense! ! Why turn a wonderful series into what looked like Coco the Clown? I think you'll find thousands of children will be not watching Doctor Who, which up to now has been the tops." And that was written by Mrs. Estelle Hawken of Wadebridge, Cornwall. And that was about Patrick frickin' Troughton. He hadn't even been in there like 5 minutes. So it's not a new phenomenon. It's been going on forever. Like, remember back when Capaldi got named and you had that stupid little shit in the one video? He's too old. It's like, oh. Plus, imagine, hang on a second. Sorry, my allergies are a bit up today. It was a bit warmer out. So, matter of fact, I even had a slight cough earlier, but it's gone away. It's just, ugh. Okay, now imagine how many people shit their pants when they rolled out Pertwee and they were actually doing the exile thing for that first series, season or two, where he couldn't leave Earth. Imagine what the complaint letters like. What do you mean the Doctor cannot visit other planets? It is an outright disgrace. But then again, that Pertwee man has such a cute bottom. Exactly. But the problem is a lot of it was, all right, so this is what happened. You've got the traditionalists who just swear up and down that Doctor Who cannot be anything other than male. Then you've got the chauvinists. And there are a few out there, not a whole lot, but then you've got it's all part of it's a conspiracy theory crowd. And the thing is, there's this dream that they're somehow the majority in the argument. And I can tell you right now, from everything I've experienced on the internet, between reaction videos, talking to people at Chicago TARDIS, talking to people online, they're in the minority big time. It's just, you got a bunch of guys who are taking that small crowd and making, reaping them for as much money as they can get. There are a few women out there who are. There's a few women who are anti-Jodie, because they're part of the traditionalists, I think. But then there's also a few who, I don't want to grab a woman's butt. I'm not kidding. There's a few who really hated Capaldi because he wasn't young and hot. It's like, sorry, the Doctor was not meant to be young and hot. Ugh. Yeah, there are people complaining about Jodie's accent, but it's like they didn't make Capaldi change his. They made Tennant change his, which kind of pissed a few people off, but he's getting to do it now only once on DuckTales. You nailed it right there. Thanks for the $1. I have not seen the new Pet Cemetery, and from what I've seen of the 2 trailers, I don't want to. Because they kind of already gave away one of the big surprise things that was going to be in the movie, which is they didn't kill Gage this time. They killed Ellie Creed. And I'm like, why the hell did you do that shit for? Really? You killed the older kid? Also, while I admire John Lithgow, he's an incredible actor. I've loved him in like billions of things, everything from Third Rock to Harry and the Hendersons. I can Buckaroo Banzai. I can name a billion movies I've seen John Lithgow in that I love him in. But the thing is, you can't beat Fred Gwynn as Judd Crandall. You really can't. And the thing is this: that falls under the reason why a lot of people would flip their wigs if the Doctor became an American actor. That's under the traditionalists. He's got, or he or she must at least be British. Now it's like, come on, why flip your wig? Imagine a Pakistani doctor or someone, with a really, really rough accent. I'm talking Apu from The Simpsons. Listen, Davros, you cannot do that. That is evil. Thank you. Come again. Now, that would be extreme, wouldn't it? Now, listen here. You cannot release that killer virus. It would kill thousands of innocent little children, and they might not dance around maypoles. Oh, God. Now, listen here, Davros. I'm going to drink this Foster's, and you better have your ass out of town by the time I hit the bottom. I don't know. Why not? Somebody with like a really raw Paul Hogan style accent, Not Paul Hogan. He's really, really up there now. Johnny Depp, you're never going to see it. I'm deeply sorry, but it's not going to happen. You have to, like I said, I like to do wish lists, but I'm still kind of grounded in reality now. There's no way, even with the bullshit that just happened, you're going to be able to afford Johnny Depp. Also, you would be telling, all right, here's the thing. Here's Johnny Depp, right? How many millions of dollars do you think Johnny Depp makes for a movie role where all he's got to do is show up, say, for like a couple months in that year? Well, I'm just... Okay, Foster sounded good because it's Australian for beer. Okay, but just to give you an example, he gets paid like, say, $20 million at least for a movie where all he has to do is show up, maybe do 3 or 4 months of work, and the rest of the year, he's on his ass, and he can stay that way for years. Now you're asking him to come down and take a job that pays maybe 240K pounds a year. He's going to laugh you right out of the freaking office. Exactly. A-list actors will not touch it with a 50-foot pole. They keep saying, Idris Elba could possibly be the next Doctor. Yeah. And if wishes were white elephants, I'd be filled up to freaking shit with elephant crap. It's not going to happen. I don't care. I remember the commercial, and God damn it, it said Foster's Australian for beer. That's all I remember is that stupid freaking commercial. Plus, there's been a lot of other people who, they offered Jim Cummings the role, I think a couple times, or Alan Cummings, I mean. And it's like, he's like, no way in hell. It's like, that would mean he'd have to move to Wales. It's like, have you seen the weather in Wales? Oh. As my friend Steven would say, it's always fucking raining. Oh, man. Exactly. You could not afford Johnny Depp. That would be like saying you're going to get Sacha Baron Cohen to come down and play the Master. It's not going to happen. Why do you think you don't see Carey Mulligan come back to the show with Sally Sparrow? You're not going to see her ever again either. Oscar-nominated actress. Sorry to say, they got I'm shocked. Then again, she may keep hanging around as a sympathy fuck Olivia Colman. You may keep her around for a while. But once that Oscar flies in their direction, the job offers are going to start coming in, unlike for somebody else. Oh. I wonder who I'm talking about. I hope they let him keep his fez so he can at least, hand that out to have change thrown in it. Yeah, you're not going to touch Rami Malek anytime soon. Nope. Exactly. But the thing is, yeah, these actors are so fucking good. It's like, of course you deserve it. Hell, Capaldi already had an Oscar coming in, but I think it was Best Director Short Film. But the guy has clout all over the place. And I was shocked when they got him, to be honest with you. He was already working on Three Musketeers, which is kind of weird. Because you see, Paul McGann was working on the set of the Three Musketeers movie when they called him up to give him the offer for the 96 Doctor Who movie. Conspiracy. Yeah, but here's the thing they don't tell you. If I remember correctly, when Peter was initially brought in, his first series, I think he made like $400K. And then they said, okay, we're going to cut everything. So he took a pay cut to $240K per year for the remaining time he was in. And I'm like, and they're making a big deal about Jodie making $240K per year. It's like, dude, it's like, you don't want to know how much they paid Smith to hang around for one more year to, finish out the 50th. Exactly. The problem is all those arguments about the sex of the Doctor. You can't point the finger at Moffat because, as I keep telling people, and I want you to go out and spread this word because it's true. Back during the 86 hiatus, for you people who are just coming in who have not heard this yet, when Colin Baker was on hiatus, he was on suspension. They called up everybody to come in because, the show was in free fall, at least in their mind. And they were looking for suggestions. There was even one suggestion going around that they might even bring in Patrick Trout back for a bit to finish the one series and call it a regression between the regenerations or something like that. It didn't happen, of course. Also, they called in Sidney Newman. And Sidney goes, fire Colin and put a woman in the role. Now, as I keep telling people, creator of the show was open to a female doctor over 30 fucking years before Jodie Whittaker got the job. So don't sit there and fucking tell me about this. She got hired. It's all Moffat's idea. Fuck all that. It was the guy who created the fucking show. Ugh. I don't care if Michael Grade is a member of the Game of Thrones. It's like, ugh. Baron Buttlick of Yadama. Yeah, I'll put something in his yard mouth. Sad sack of shit wouldn't know good television if it jumped out of his TV and ripped him in like Videodrome. It's like, oh man. Long live Video, death to Videodrome, long live the new flesh. Now, I wasn't in fandom, but I was watching the show. I was 3 years in at that time. So I started watching in 83. Might have been 82, but my mind keeps still saying it was 83, that the summer of 83. But you got to remember, we were watching episode. They were flipping order all over the damn place. So by the time we even made it anywhere near there, that was all long over and decided. Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter what he said. He was still the creator of Doctor Who. It's still his show. It was his call. That means the guy who created it in the first place was open to the Doctor being male or female back in 86. I don't care if he was wrong about the bug-eyed monsters or not. That doesn't matter for fiddly-dee, fiddly-dee-da fucking shit. He was still open to the idea. Well, he was wrong about the Daleks. It don't matter if he was wrong about the Daleks. He still let them run, didn't he? Ha 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 ha. Of course, they'll say he was woke. Oh, well. Hang on. Oh, yeah, but we didn't have the VHS swapping days around here. everything we saw was dependent on what PBS got. And as I said, I remember it was WVIZ TV 25 in Cleveland. Yeah, they were doing it through the, I believe the company's name was Lionheart at the time. And because I remember that stupid, loud fucking emblem that would play when the credits were done. It's like, shut up! Ah! Because, it would end, then the thing fades and you get that Lionheart emblem would come up. And, never going to happen. You're not going to see Charles dance or anything like that. Matter of fact, I just freaked out when I found out Ian Glenn's going to be playing Batman in Titans. Did you hear about that yet? That's right. The head cleric from Time of the Angels, Jorah Mormont. If you're not watching Titans or Doom Patrol and you're a comic book guy, you should be. Unfortunately, here's the problem about you just brought up thing that's not going to happen with you're not going to find any of the missing episodes on VHS. And the problem is this. Remember, when those episodes originally aired, they were not repeated. They were sent out to other places, but they didn't really do repeats a whole lot. And what happened was videotape was incredibly expensive. Yeah, PBS is commercial free unless it's around the time when they're doing their, collection week or whatever it is, or subscription week when they're trying to get people to come in and, sign up for public television. So PBS was ad free. Plus what they did was they showed them all, pledge drives. They showed them all as one big movie. They take the, individual credits and, end credits out, and they edit it all together into one big, movie of the week. So when I was watching Doctor Who, I was getting an hour and a half, 2-hour movie every week, which was freaking cool. You see, I didn't know about that serial format stuff until way later because, when I watched it, it wasn't broken up into parts. So, but it was kind of nice to disappear on an adventure with the Doctor, an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what episode, what serial it was, every week. Unfortunately, like I said, it was just a weird time back then, because I was growing up. Pledge Week really sucked because when they did finally show the 5 Doctors the first time, PBS is public broadcasting service, John. Public channels. I've seen the Umbrella Academy, and I think it's awesome. It does combine elements of X-Men, and all that, but at the same time, it's its own original tale, which is why I'm dying laughing when you had all these critics jumping up and down saying the Umbrella Academy was nothing but a direct copy off of those other genres. But when they were doing the pledge drive the one year, that's when they finally showed the 5 Doctors, and they cut the shit out of it. I'm not kidding. They hacked out entire segments on top of the fact that, you had to sit there and wait all night to finally see all of it because they're doing the segments where they're off on the phones. So the first time I saw the 5 Doctors, it was cut all the shit. So I love Delgado. Like I said, sadly, he passed away. And, because the original plan for Delgado's exit as the Master was at the end of that season. There was going to be a storyline where he gave his life to save the Doctor. And then there was that terrible car accident, and Roger Delgado left us way too early. And then shortly after, that's when John Pertwee decided to leave because he, missed his friend so much. They were very, very close friends off camera. And the next incarnation of the Master, one of them was Jeffrey Beavers, who was married to Liz Shaw, Caroline John. Weird. Matter of fact, Roger Delgado's wife did the voice of one of the spiders, I think, in Planet of the Spiders. Yeah, Tom Baker was my first one as well because, like I said, I picked it up in '83, and like I said, the first episode I saw was the Sontaran Experiment. I'm not sure. I thought it went through PayPal Super Chat. Well, then again, that's right. Mine, I get paid through Google. You're right. It wouldn't go through that. So I'm not sure how to do that unless you go through my PayPal, which I'd have to go look up. I don't use it very often, so I'll only use it to like pay for a couple things here and there. And yeah, you're right. Yismet. Yeah, she did one of the voices for the spiders on Planet of the Spiders. But it was very sad when that all happened. When I read about how that happened and all that, it's just so tragic. Okay. I don't know. I've never been to the BBC Doctor Who website. I've never had a cause to go there, so. Great, my nose is closing up again. And that must have freaked a lot of people out, Spearhead, because they were so used to watching Doctor Who in black and white. It's like, wow, he regenerated so hard he knocked the whole fucking world into color. But imagine how they were reacting. Who's this tall, lanky guy? Why is he stuck on Earth? I didn't see Spearhead until, like I said, they hopped around all over the place back then because we'd run through Tom Baker. I think we began Peter Davison. We got to his first season or so. Then they jumped back to, I think it was Third Doctor then. They ran through the third. Then they jumped all the way back up the fifth again. Like I said, they were all over the place. So, can't remember when I saw my first Pertwee, sadly. Yep, that's why they were able to so easily convert it into Blu-ray, because it was shot all on film. So, everything else with video is a bit tricky. I was shocked they were able to clean up the video as well as they have for the Blu-rays. Oh, yeah, Carnival of Monsters. Yeah, that's always a good one. Silurians, which was in black and white for me. I didn't see Mind of Evil 2 a few years ago because back when that time was going on, they didn't send any that were incomplete. So since the one part of Mind of Evil was still missing at the time, they didn't air it here. They skipped over it. So yes, the 1970s at TV Center, the Cobra years, because they'd strike at anything. Well, sadly, that's just, we've lost a lot of people, but that's just, the flow of time. That's why I was very upset when the 50th came around and they didn't have anybody other than Tom Baker in it. And it's like, you got all these other people, that you just pissed away a great opportunity on, My wife uses the neti pot. I can't do that shit. No. I'll just go take a little bit of Dayquil here in a few minutes and I'll be fine in about 15 minutes after that. No, we saw it. No, they showed Invasion of the Dinosaurs here. It was complete. They didn't show Mind of Evil here, though. Okay, that I didn't know about. Yeah, Kroll, boom, 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 boom. Kroll, boom, 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 boom. Crow rises from the depths. Oh, God. I'm taking a big shit. Oh. One of these nights, like I said, I just got to sit here and do a chat like on the Stephen King movies, other interesting subjects I've been sitting here writing about because there's a lot of King adaptations that didn't, do too well. There's a lot I have. Oh, thank you. Barry Letts is dead, isn't he? I thought he died a while ago, Barry Letts. Because I remember he did that one book called Who and Me, and I don't think he ever finished it. Yeah, I know all about Shada because I read about it. No. The commercial said so, Andrew. Foster's, Australian for beer. It said so. I believe it. I don't know why they keep dragging American Horror Story up because it was so good there for a while. Then it got really bad. Then it got good again. Then it just went fucking awful. Oh, man. Apocalypse was okay. Don't know yet. Haven't heard anything about that. All I know is they've been filming between Tenerife and back and forth in Cardiff. Oh, okay. I don't remember that one. Sci-fi love boat with Vincent Price. I remember when he was, what's his name, in the Bikini Machine. Okay, a few more minutes here, and I got to run because, like I said, I got to be up 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, apparently there's trouble in paradise. Okay, about the Doctor Who magazine time team. Apparently there's been some shifts. There's been some shuffles, and also apparently, yeah, Benjamin Cook has quit. That's not what I'm hearing, Benji. But yeah, I was never very happy about the new time team because there was the oldest person on the time team was Christelle D, who was 26. What? Oh, Dudman left too? I'm shocked. But then again, you got to remember he's making his money from Big Finish now because they're hiring all these youngins to come in and do readovers because, they want to keep things running into the future. You can't rely on a group of actors who are in their 70s. Unfortunately, yeah, I had to quit doing the music at the end of the videos because the YouTube copyright bot suddenly started striking him. I'm like, so let me get this straight. 10 seconds, 20 at the most of music played at a volume setting of less than 10% of normal volume with me talking over it is somehow going to fuck up Metallica's bankroll. It was bad enough when them assholes had Napster taken down. It's like, you bunch of egotistical fucking pricks. Like, yeah, Lars and the gang are going to be out mowing lawns because somebody's putting their music out for free. I can't do Metallica. I tried. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, Doctor Magazine. Yeah, I've never been a subscriber. I've been, I always get my stuff, sent to me. Like, here, this happened, that happened. Then I collate the data from there. It just didn't seem like it got any better from what I've seen, though. But okay, anything else? Like I said, we got about a few more minutes, I guess. Any questions, concerns, inquiries? Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to get over there and take some allergy medicine a little bit. Mommy, there's a fat man blowing his nose on the camera. Things went quiet there for a minute. So once again, Frazer Hines is being misquoted. He never slammed the BBC. Davros, I hope not. It's just after, like I said, oh, the poor Davros. I didn't like the episode, oh man, why did they have to have the doctor go back into his past? Because that just was, Yeah, I did see that, and like I said, I'm shocked Benjamin seems to think it's his duty to police Twitter. All that lady did was share an article. She didn't say she agreed with it. She didn't say she, said, "Oh yeah, Frazer, you're a fucktard." That's not what she said. She just shared the article. That doesn't mean she agreed with it. That doesn't mean she thought Frazer Hines is this evil guy. I do this all the time. Even when I don't like an article, I'll share it because, okay, go judge this for yourself. Let me know. I don't think so. I've not heard anything or seen anything that'll convince me the BBC will allow classic companions or anybody off the old show come back again. Especially after the 50th anniversary debacle / buttfuck of the classic fans. Like I said, when the only person who's allowed to come back is Tom Baker, and that was for 3 minutes. That just kind of, killed it for me. That any hope that was going to happen. Yeah, but at the same time, why does everybody have to keep sticking their dick in the past characters? It's like Davros was Davros for a reason. They covered a lot of Davros's background in Big Finish. Why do we have to have the doctor going back and saving him as a kid? It's the one part I really couldn't get my head around. Why did you have to do that? It's like, what was the difference? Why did you do this for? Once again, Moffat having to stick his characters into past parts into other characters' lives. Like I said, you had Clara, who was great for that middle bit, where she wasn't a godlike superhero. And then suddenly, okay, now I'm going to kill her, bring her back. Oh, yeah, how many times we've seen that happen, Moffy? I don't know. You see, the thing is, the Ronnie was originally not really a villain. She was a villain in the sense that she just didn't give a shit. Basically, she didn't give a shit about the Doctor and the Master feud. Just stay out of my fucking way while I go experiment on people. I don't think there's any proof of that. I think it's just Clara was Clara, and I think Moffat just went a little crazy with it. Missy was a great master. Like I said, the Ronnie was more analytical, more logical, until they really fucked her up in time in the Ronnie. Oh my God. I feel sorry for poor Kato Mara having to put... You're right. You see, you got it right there. The Ronnie was amoral. She just didn't give a shit about anything or anybody. Just stay the hell out of my way while I go experiment on thousands of millions of innocent people. Keep out of my way. I don't give a shit about she wouldn't have gave a shit about the Time War unless it was inconveniencing one of her experiments. Yeah, I call her Clara Sue Ex Machina towards the end there. Okay, so now she's functionally immortal, has her own immortal companion with her own TARDIS. Yeah, and the sad part is when people were asked why they went into a multi-doctor story for the 50th, they always held up, look at what happened in Dimensions in Time. And I go, yeah, look what the fuck happened in the 5 Doctors and 3 Doctors. You had 2 damn good episodes. You lit one shit attempt at an anniversary special, which they crossed over with East fucking Enders, which I can't figure out for the life of me. What, I don't care if it was for charity or not. It was a shit idea. It was fucking horrible. All right, to give you an idea, for you people who've never heard me use this, Dimensions in Time is to Doctor Who what the Star Wars Holiday Variety Special was to Star Wars. It's that simple. People want to erase it from their memories. Sure, Dimensions in Time is good for a bit of nostalgia, but other than that, the storyline was fucking horrible. Oh God, ugh, made me want to cry. Okay, 3 minutes, and I got to go to bed. Well, Stark Guild, I got other things to do before I go to bed. What were you talking about? Andrew, in Resolution, you had a Dalek running around kicking everybody's ass. Had kick-ass weapon. That scene with the Dalek in the tank made that worth it for me, where he just, tank missile, oh, man. Yeah, that's once again 3D. I don't know why anybody wants it. I don't think it's necessary. Like I said, I can't prove it. I can't prove it exists, but I still say that there's a backdoor handshake going on with Nick Briggs, Haig Ellery, and the guys at the BBC saying, look, you don't touch our shit, we won't touch your shit unless we have permission. And I think that's what's going on. That's what it feels like more and more to me. Because I think it resulted from, a lot of people don't know it, but Sarah Jane had done a 2 series of Big Finish, and then they called her up for School Reunion. So, and that second series ended in a cliffhanger. And guess what? It never got picked up because School Reunion was such a big deal that they, created the Sarah Jane Adventures. And so she never went back to Big Finish. Yep. The thing is this. I don't think they want to dig up that can of worms. That's why I don't think you're going to see the kids back even from Sarah Jane Adventures, because then we have to go, where's Sarah Jane? And the way RTD and all that left it off, he wanted it so that she's still somewhere out there fighting the good fight, which is why that's why I loved. You can mention the fact that the fucking Brigadier died, but you can't mention that Sarah Jane did. You're not going to get the Adventures of Clara. Now, let me tell you why. Jenna Coleman is away from Doctor Who, and I don't think she's ever going back. The only thing she's ever going to have to do with Doctor Who is when she's collecting your fucking money at a con. Yeah, because originally it could have been. The BBC could have said, come here, Nick. Sit down. We're restarting the show. You can fuck off now. They could have done that. You see, the thing is, like I said, my other fond belief is they don't want any more fat old people on screen when they're trying to bring in younger viewers. Also, if you confuse younger viewers, then, they'll tune off. You don't want to have to actually explain who this is, even though you could use a throwaway line. Like, well, I guess I've been arguing about this for years, that classic companions do need to come back, especially do it now when there's so many of them still alive. And, like I said, you had so many classic doctors still alive. They threw Paul McGann under the bus when, the guy only got a 96-minute movie and a 7-minute regeneration special. That was it. So they could shoehorn in the Whore Doctor and then completely fuck up the Time War. I don't know. Like I said, you got to remember, they were in muddy waters when Scream of the Shalka came out. If I give us what? Oh, gosh. Like I said, I'm just good with a lot of filters and all. That's why I would be able to do the voices. But I'm so busy doing my own stuff right now that, like I said, I've had offers to go out to go do other series, and sadly, I was never able to get back to them, and I feel bad about it. But between real life, when my hours got bumped up, and then trying to get my own adventures out, then I just haven't had time. Well, folks, it is going on past 8, and like I said, I got to be up at 4:00 in the morning. I want to thank everybody who tuned in again. Yeah, William Russell is like 94 now. You're right. And like I said, I heard he's not quite as spry as he used to be, but he's still hanging on there. So, like I said, once again, thank everybody for coming in. Like I said, please do not believe the Sun. All the Sun was they took Frazer Hines' words and they twisted them around to get a clickbait headline. So everyone, please take care of yourselves. Have a great night. I'll see you on the flip side. When we have more news, I'll have it out there for you. Laters.